Yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Squills here, back with another video, and today what I'm going to be talking about is power positions in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, I define power positions as any small area that is, as a defender, that is heavily contested by attackers, that is easy to hold and can be well protected, and kind of gives you a lot of situations where you can put yourself at an advantage in gunfights. And I have 4 clips here, as well as one bonus clip from a competitive match that I played to illustrate really what I mean about power positions. Now, the example that I'm going to be using, and at least the one in all 4 of these, is the one that I feel I am the best at, which is the server rack hold. If I had to give a number for my kill to death ratio when I'm playing behind the server rack, I would say it is somewhere around the area of 5.0 or somewhere in that range. Like, I have a very, very, very high success rate when playing Jaeger behind the server rack. And I've developed some tricks and some concepts to help you guys do the server hold that I like to do, and as well as you can apply these to pretty much any power position that you come up with. The 2 that I can really just pull off the top of my head are probably yellow stairs on consulate. It's a really good area, especially there, to play with a shotgun. You can hold off, so many different areas. You can open up lots of different angles for yourself there. And then behind the generator in blue, I usually like to play Legion there, because you can put your goo mines in the long hallways. And when they try to push you from blue stairs or from oil pit, you can kind of maneuver around and get some good pre-fires, as well as some tight angles on the attackers. So, clip number 1, we have server hold here. So as you can see, a little bit of the setup. Once I get behind the server rack, I have barbed in tunnel, right? So you see I have barbed in tunnel. I just put an ADS down. Now you'll notice I actually have an ADS in my pocket down here. I still have one ADS. Now the reason I do this is because, let's say a team gets actually pretty smart with it and they decide to bring a Thatcher. Now, or they could just burn my ADS. Either one of those could happen, but usually when you realize you've burnt an ADS, what do? Okay, well then you say, now I'm going to bring in the nades, or now I'm going to bring in whatever utility that I actually want to throw in there to get rid of that guy. So that's when I bring out the ADS that's in my pocket. That's the one I'm going to put down, and that's the one that I am going to kind of use as the backup, so that once they think they've burned the ADS, I put that second one down, so that then they start wasting the flashes or the nades that they actually want to use to kill me, and that can be very disruptive as an attacker. So we'll continue. I have my barbed in the tunnel, and you can see one of the first things I do there is that little prone peek. It's a very aggressive peek, but nonetheless it works. So as you can hear, I hope, if there's somebody pushing tunnel, you can hear the footsteps coming in there. So here goes the first aspect, is quick peeks and pre-fires. This is something that's very useful in tunnel because, the enemies are still technically considered outside when they're in the tunnel. And so you see there I get an easy kill, right? So they feel very safe pushing up to that tunnel area because they feel like it's a safe angle, but it is really not a safe angle. Okay, I'm just quick peeking this. I can do this all day. I can keep switching my height. I can go from standing to crouch, from standing to crouch. And I can take drones out. I've destroyed 2 drones so far. And I can just sit here. Now you can see also, I've invested a second set of barbed wire down on the bottom of the stairs. So there's really no safe way to get into server without me knowing about it. Now obviously you can punch this barbed wire from relative safety, but really the reason I put it there is so that you can't sneak up on me. There's really no way to get into server, like I said, without alerting me somehow. So basically later in the round, my doc gets a bunch of kills. Their main push was coming from garage, so as you can see, I make this late rotate up on the main stairs, and this is the idea that you have to have when you're playing power positions, and it really applies to a bunch of different power positions. When you're in these power positions, you have to realize when the push isn't focused on you. For example, if you're on consulate, and you think the pusher's focused on admin, you got to have that confidence to be able to rotate down yellow stairs and come up, maybe Visa stairs or spiral stairs and try to make an impact on the round that way with a flank, or just kind of rotating back into sight and helping your sight players out. So that's something that you really just need a feel for, and that'll come with experience. So the second clip I'm going to be using is this one. So basically, in this clip, at the beginning of this clip, I'm already sitting behind server rack and I'm already being pressured. So you can see these flashbangs come in. I'm just trying to quick peek around, see where everybody's pushing from. There you see the first flashbang get burned, and now I hold this angle on the hatch. So this is a scenario where the hatch gets open, which actually makes my hold much more dangerous, because with the hatch open, I always have to worry about two angles, no matter which side of the server rack I'm peeking. If I'm peeking the tunnel, I have to worry about the hatch, and if I'm peeking the stairs, I still have to worry about the hatch. So in this place, I'm going to hold a relatively safe angle. It's much more difficult to see me from the stairs, so that this only exposes me to one angle. Turns out it's a Blackbeard peeking me, and well, I get the kill because Jaeger has good DPS. But really, the only way I lose that is if it is a Blackbeard. I'm holding a very relatively safe angle, and anybody peeking me is most likely going to be looking for me, as opposed to I know exactly where they're going to peek. So I want to talk about this is a good strong hold in a room like server will often have a larger impact on the round than just kills, right? So I get that one opening pick, and I've burned already, as you can see. There's only 40 seconds left in the round. I just destroyed another drone. I'm letting them know that I'm still here and I'm still a threat, and I have been doing so for the entire round, basically. So now you'll see, I think this round gets a bit closer. Somebody pushes into vault and gets a kill or something like that. But anyway, I've forced these attackers to have a really bad situation now, where it's a 3v2 with only 15 seconds left, and this Habana, who opened that hatch, is still upstairs, because she can't push into server, which is the room that she originally wanted to enter into. I realize that she's not pushing server anymore. I come over here and I'm able to make the play on the Habana as she drops the hatch, so that's a really easy kill for me. And I didn't even have to do much most of the round. That Blackbeard was the only engagement I had to get into, and the rest of it was me just having a presence, not giving up, and forcing the opponents away. So the next thing is, okay, what do you do if there's a Monty? A Monty seems like a pretty damn good way of getting rid of people. So here you can see, or hear, the Monty coming down the stairs. I'll make it a bit louder. Probably not that loud. But we're going to go back. You can hear the Monty deploying a shield. You can hear him punching the barbed wire. So what do? I'm just like, okay, well, I know they're not pushing from tunnel. At this point, they haven't droned me much. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to sit in the back of server. I'm going to wait till I hear somebody pushing in the room. Then I'm going to peek out and see whether I can get a pick on the person behind the Monty. Turns out, I barely have to sit behind the server rack before I hear the Monty and this buck pushing into the room. Now, look at this buck. He's not looking for me. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. And he had no idea that I was here, because I was in a good position that the Monty couldn't see. Now I get into a heads-up gunfight with the buck, except I'm already aiming in, and I just need to move my cursor over to his head. Now I'm in a 1v1 with the Monty. I call it out to my team. If they were in a better position, maybe in Red Hall, or even in A site, they could have come over to help me, but, I don't really need it. Monty hipfires a little bit. I sprint around to try to catch him off timing. He thinks I'm going to try to play Ring Around the Rosie with him, and I don't know why he's looking that way, but that's an easy pick for me. Now I have Diffuser, and the rest of this round is easy. Okay, so there was one thing I wanted to show from this. Now I have Diffuser, and now it's really just the server hold becomes the most important thing because I have Diffuser. And this is a lot of times what will happen is if you're playing in power positions and the main push of the attackers comes your way, if you get Diffuser, your hold becomes so much better, because now you know they're going to have to pressure you, and you don't have a choice really to move, but they also don't have a choice to do anything but push you. So this is when you have to take your gunfights correctly. When the pressure starts mounting, pick one gunfight at a time, take it in a way that's advantageous to you, as in you are the one doing the peeking. And that way, you will be able to win, not really 1vx situations, but really situations where you're the one in that room hunkering down and there's lots of enemies pressuring you from different directions. So now you can see, I know this guy has to push me. I know he's on garage side, so what I do is, this is not really a thing about playing power positions, but it's just a thing in general. I line up a extremely tight angle. This is a couple pixels wide, and I don't expect myself to hit a reactionary shot on this angle, but what I do is I wait here. I wait till I see movement, and I don't even think I know I did see movement, because I remember what happened in this clip, but you can just see a few pixels move right there. Somebody just walked in this angle. I realized that. I step out and I pre-fire, and that guy had absolutely zero chance of winning that gunfight because I had already knew he had crossed through the door. So now, saving my best for last, this is my most recent clip, and this is an ace. So as you can see, I do my little setup. I put my barbed wire down, I reinforce the hatch, put my ADS down, and I of course already have my barbed. So here goes the prone peek in action. And you can see how hard it is for me to see the people that I'm peeking. You're going to see somebody peek out in just a second, and I barely saw him. So you can imagine how difficult that is for the attackers to see me. And of course he leaves the game. How toxic. Anyways, I hear another person in tunnel. I know that I'm going to focus on tunnel. So the first time when I peeked that angle I was prone. Now I'm standing. If someone were to go to pre-fire me, it would be very difficult to be able to accurately predict what height I'm going to be peeking at. He misses his shot. So, this man's compliments my hold on tunnel. I appreciate that very much. But, the attackers determined that they are going to push garage just like they did in the first clip I showed you, because this is actually from the same game. So they decide they're going to push garage. I wait for a little bit. And I decide I might try to make a play on garage, because it seems like that's where the main push is coming from. As I'm walking over here, I hear some footsteps behind me. So I decide I'm just going to hunker down in this little corner and wait for somebody to push me. Sure enough, here comes Knock, and what do you know, with Diffuser. Now I'm in a situation where I have Diffuser, and I'm holding Diffuser, and there's really no place that I can go that's safe from all angles, other than, I suppose, blue stairs, which wouldn't have been a bad idea, but I decided to hunker down this little room where I can really only be pushed from this door. I widen my angle a little bit as I hear the guy coming. He checks for me, but I'm more prepared for the gunfight than he is, and I win that out. Now I'm just hungry, I'm looking for the ace, so I sprint on over here, and I'm gonna get the ace, so I'll just show you that for my satisfaction. Then I'll give you the bonus clip before I wrap everything up of me pulling off my server hold against very good players in a competitive match. There you go. I get my kill and my ace. So here we are. Here's the competitive match. As you can see, my team is losing 5-1. These kids are actually very good, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to be able to pull off my server hold anyway. So as you can see, we have a Monty pushing me, as well as this Thermite pushing me. So you have another example of me dealing with this Monty. I'm sitting behind server. I come in and I just pre-fire the tunnel. I know the Monty's already in. I know the Thermite is coming. So I get the down. Monty gets aggressive on me. I get the easy kill on the Monty. And now we're essentially in a 5v2 situation. Now, of course, in ESL, you don't have points on. I had no clue that I injured this kid, but you can see how I continue to play it. Quick peek it. I think there's someone there, so I pre-fire it. Obviously, I didn't realize he was down. And then at the very end of this round, let's see if I skip a little bit ahead. They're still pressuring my... Oops. They are still going to pressure my hatch for the majority of the rest of the round. So let's see this. You have Smack trying to flash me out. My ADS are catching it, right? I know I have Diffuser in tunnel. Keeps trying to flash me out, and all the flashes get caught. This is after I've already placed my safety ADS. So Hawk burns my last ADS. He realizes he's burned it. He stuns me, but at that point I had already gotten the kill. I realize what they're doing. I hold a safe angle from behind the server rack on the stairs. And now it's just Hawk. 15 seconds left. I've already won this round single-handedly from the server stairs because they push their Monty and they push their diffuser, and of course once I have diffuser, the clock is ticking. And of course, if you decide to push me with only 20 seconds left and you drop one of your men, doesn't matter if you kill me, we win this round, no matter what. So in conclusion, find your own power positions. This is one that I've really taken a liking to, and this has helped me in ranked tremendously. So find your own, work on always putting yourself in positions and habitually putting yourself in positions that give you the advantage in gunfights, and I promise you, you will thrive in any power position that you take up. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you learned something, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.